Well, first I haven't seen you in a year since you were here, and since
Mm,
then you've actually traveled around. You've even gone to Russia. I saw an interview for you there
mm.
while you were there. How was it? And remember, you can tell me the truth because now there's no Russian regime right on top of you.
Yeah, I to be honest, I
Mm,
really dig Russia.
mm,
The country, the people. I have a lot of Russian friends. I
mm.
mean, all politics aside, I don't really care too much about politics, to be honest. But
Same.
I don't know. I really liked Russia. The people seem so. Uh, how do I say it? Like they seem so cold on the outside, but they're
Mhm.
actually very cool once you
Okay.
like get to know them. Wait, I just want to put a light on.
No
Maybe it's
problem.
easy. There we go.
Thank you.
Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed Russia. The tournament was also very cool. Um, and yeah, it was a very enlightening experience. Like playing against those players, and it was a lot of fun for all of us. Like traveling together as a team. Never done that before personally, so that was cool. And yeah, and also seeing snow was very
Yes.
cool. I've never seen it before, so yeah, that was enjoyable for
Yeah,
sure.
you're from Africa. I'm from the Middle East. I've also never seen snow, and it's like it's that thing that you use like I need to see it to believe it exists. It's only in movies right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you get any heat for going to Russia? Because I know like some of my caster friends were invited, and they said I don't want to do it because like there's an image I have to uphold, things like that. I didn't care. I mean, I casted your games. I didn't care. But what about you as a player? Did you get any like heat from anyone? Of
I mean, got flamed from some random people. Like some people
course.
would message me and stuff and said some cruel things about me and my family. But I mean,
Ah.
it's like whatever, man. I mean, uh, yes, on one hand you can be like, oh no, look what's happening with
Mm.
all the politics and the war and stuff. But on the other hand, you can be like, it's a great opportunity for
Yes.
your career. Like it's back then it was what February this year I think,
Mm.
and us in Neon, it was a big opportunity for us, for all of us
Yep.
as individuals and as a team. So yeah, I mean it's like stupid to pass that up,
Yeah.
just to say like, oh no, what are people gonna think of us,
Mm.
like I think sometimes we need to draw the line. I mean, yes, I know that there's cruel things that are happening in the world, we must be cognizant of it, but at the same time you need to try and keep things as they are. Like this is Dota, it's not politics.
Yeah.
This is just esports, so let's keep it as like simple as we can if
Mm.
possible, in my opinion. So
No,
yeah, that's my view.
I agree with you because I also feel like it's like why is it that this tournament's allowed but this tournament is not, and you're like this government's good. Like who is the judge and jury who says this is okay and this is not okay? Because again,
Yeah.
I'm literally with you because I was casting the tournament, so I was very lucky though because I know some of my friends who are from Europe they got flamed, but because I'm from the Middle East, people were like, he doesn't know or something. So I was like, okay, I'll play ignorant. I don't mind.
I mean, even that doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
some people get flamed, some people don't. And now I know there's also like the Israel Palestine thing. I feel
Yeah.
like there's always things, like it's ridiculous. I'm just moving my PC here, but it's
No
just
problem.
ridiculous. There's always these things. It's like the whole pineapple on pizza, and then it's wars, and then it's this and that. There's always divisions in the world. You know,
Mm.
it, why can't it just be like relaxing and we just respect each other and do the thing that we're here to do, like play Dota or whatever the case may be. But
And
yeah,
And in general, also when you want to like try to bring in groups with you, it's the worst thing you can do is alienate them, right? And say like, no, we're not going to contact them or anything like that.
yeah. We all just want the betterment of esports. We don't. That's what we're here for. We're here for Dota. So yeah, I don't know. Tricky times.
I actually went to China last year, and I also had like this experience where people were like, China, it's authoritarian, it's bad and stuff. And I'm sure it's not as clean as what I saw because you're going there, as the Asian
Mm.
games, the biggest thing. But it's also like not as dystopian as people make it sound. Like it seemed okay. That's really the impression I got in the end.
I mean, 100%. I agree with you there. Like, same thing for me when I went to China. Obviously, it was a
Yes.
bit of a culture shock. I went to three different cities
Mm.
throughout my years. But I mean, it's not like you hear stories about a country, you go there and
Yes.
you're like, it's actually just normal.
Yeah.
It's just normal people. Everyone's a human. It's like
Mm.
whatever. You know, it's not like. When my mom heard I was going to Russia, she was like, "Oh no, what about the war?" My mom started expecting like tanks rolling in, and we're gonna be fighting while we're playing Dota. No, it's not like that at all. Like I think the images that we get from social media or the ideas or the stories. It's so like over the top, you know,
Yep.
compared to like the normal everyday human life experience. So yeah, I mean, uh, it's pretty chilled. It's pretty chilled.
Yeah, the narrative has to be pushed. But I can't believe this is what we're starting with because I did not think this is where we're gonna go. But
Politics. Let's go.
yeah, but to
Let's go
be
podcast.
fair, it's also a good thing, right? Because like we're you're a Dota player, you're in the scene, but you're also a human who also has opinions on other things. Like you want, there's this weird thing where it's like if you play basketball, you can only talk about basketball, don't talk about anything else. But it's like no, I
Mm,
want to know your opinion on other things as well.
mm.
Small thing to go in China. When you were there, did people take pictures of you because they hadn't seen a white guy before?
Yeah, I got videoed a lot, followed a lot, pictures and stuff. It was very funny. Like it
Uh,
was very funny. Yeah.
I loved it too because I swear I was in the bus and people in the bus would like, to people they're like, that one, that one. I'm like, what? Yes.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him.
And
Yeah.
what about communication? Did everyone use their app, where they talk and then translates on the phone?
Or they just stare at you, you know, because
Mm.
obviously they don't speak, and I stare back because, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, my Chinese is so bad. So yeah, they would just be like, talk to me in Chinese, and I'd be like, sorry, brother, sorry, sister, I cannot understand you, and then they'll just be like, carry on. For me, it's the commitment that I really
Yeah.
enjoy. You know, they don't give up. They're not like, maybe I try to pull out my English card. They're just like, nope, full on Chinese. We're just gonna full
Yeah.
send it and hope something hits, but nothing was gonna hit that day. So yeah.
That's how with Chase. They'll be like, he'll catch up. He'll get it
Yeah.
eventually.
He's in my country. You better listen. So funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time. Oh, was food an issue? Food was a big issue for me in China, but I was only there for a week, so maybe it's like after a few weeks you find what you like. But was it an issue for you in the beginning, at least?
Trying to think now. I
Mm.
mean, I was there for WESG. I was
Yeah,
representing South Africa, so it was pretty like chilled. There was catering at the
yeah.
event, which was fine. I think
Mm.
we ate out a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Eating out at restaurants was a bit weird because obviously we
Yep.
can't really order and stuff. It was awkward. The pizza I had the first time I went to China was terrible.
Oh man.
But the last time I went to China, I think I went to the city Chongqing,
Okay.
and I had really good noodles. I remember having very
Mm.
good, like very cheap, super good ramen type noodles at this
Yeah.
one place. This guy played Dota 1 and he saw my WSG thingy, and then he was like, "Oh, hello, hello," and then he spoke some broken English, but he was really cool. He was really cool. He
Yeah.
made such good food. I really liked that little place. Yeah,
Uh,
that was good.
I like when you said Chongqing. I was like, that's where the major was, right? That was the major in Chongqing, and
Yeah,
I imagine China is where you'd find a lot of good noodles.
yeah.
It's like if you're gonna find good noodles, it's gonna be in China. But
Mm,
I'm gonna ask you a few things about you as a player. Firstly, and I always get a kick out of this, is that you're the first African player to join the DPC, and how. I'm sure you asked this before, but I want to ask you again. How was the African Dota 2 scene when you're starting out? You're part of, I think, White Rabbit Gaming. Um,
oh yeah,
yeah,
jeez, that was long ago.
right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I mean, the South African scene back in the day was very vibrant. I would say, like,
Nice.
between 2014 to 2016,
Mm,
because we actually had a lot of people playing Dota in our country. Believe it or
cool.
not, like Dota 1, Dota 2 came out,
Mm,
and we had lots of local tournaments. And then
mm,
as esports started to increase, like internationally, so did the prize pool and the prospects locally.
yeah.
So we ended up having this idea of like there is a possibility to like
Mm,
go pro.
yeah.
Maybe you can like win these essay tournaments and then go overseas.
Yeah.
That was like the plan. But then yeah, 2016, 2017 rolled around, and my teammates and I, we had a gaming house in White Rabbit Gaming. So the
Yep.
first gaming house in South Africa, we had it, and it was really cool. It wasn't like grandiose or anything, but it was really nice and for us. And then we were playing European tournaments mostly,
Nice.
and so on. And we were actually pretty good at a stage. Like we were
Mm,
like doing very well against like very high member teams and stuff, and some good stacks, but
mm,
never like tier one, probably like tier two level max. And
mm,
then I came to Southeast Asia in 2018 because I was like, I may as well do this when I can and I have
mm.
enough money, and I'm just gonna send it and see how it goes. So yeah, then I just
Good.
came to Southeast Asia.
Yeah, kudos. And do you ever feel like you're representing Africa? Because I don't know if there are any other players from there besides you. I mean, I'm sure there are, like the northern side, a few of them. But do you ever feel like, I'm representing sort of like my country? I mean, I know you're at least the only South African, apart from
Oh yeah,
Snare. Yeah.
yeah. I know Snare is still casting, and then we have Knoxville as well.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't really like think about it that much, to be honest. I do get like happy when I
Yeah.
see like the South African flag like represented in the tournaments, because
Cool.
that was always my dream. Like I want to help put my country, South Africa,
Mm.
on the map, and yeah, definitely doing that to a degree. So
Mm.
I'm proud of that. But yeah, all my South African friends will message me, be like, "Good luck for this," or "Good luck for that," or "Good to see you doing well," and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely nice, definitely enjoyable.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And you used to be mid, I remember,
Mm.
and then you switched to support. Um, Obviously, it's been how you said you used to practice mid a lot. Like you go into pubs, bring it to the draft, and you play it competitively. How does practicing support work for you?
Yeah, so for me, I don't know. I just kind of transitioned to support because I actually gave up on Dota.
Oh yeah.
In 20 when was it 2023 already. I'd given up on Dota because I
Mm.
was living in South Africa, hyping and need to move on with my life, working for my mom's law firm, and my friends asked me to play this qualifier
Mm.
for DPC, and I was like, YOLO, I have nothing else to do, may as well just do it,
Yeah.
you may as well just play it. We played, and for the first time in my whole life we won the open qualifier, and then we
Nicely.
got to the close qualifier. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, we can do it! Fairy tale dream!" And then we lost 0-2 to Neon, lost 0-2 to UDV, and then we were out. That was Team Carstens, and
Mm.
I was like, "Okay, dream's over. Back to the grind. I'm gonna go study. I'm just like redoing some subjects, and I'm gonna go study, and want to get on with my life. All
Mhm.
good." And then Neon ended up contacting me, and they were like,
Good.
"Hey, do you want to like trial for us?" And I was like, bruh, I can't even play pos 5. Like I just played pos 5 randomly, and then I ended up trialing for them. I was so bad. I think it was like 7k MMR
Mhm.
and 7.7 or something. And yeah, it was a disaster. And then when I joined Neon, by God's grace, I'm pretty sure, Chuan helped me a lot.
Mm.
He sort of showed me the initial ropes with pos 5. He was like, this is how you must think, this is how you must do. So it's very similar to mid, I would say, in terms of
Mm.
like you play ranked. But I would say the things to improve on as a support are much more arbitrary and out of the
Mm.
box. It's not like your stats. It's not like, oh, my last hits are good, my kills are good, my map rotations are good. Okay, it's like pretty 1+1 is 2.
Yeah.
Support is like, what are the enemy going to do right now? What is my
Mm.
team going to do right now? What state of the game is it in? Should I block a smoke? Should I make a smoke? Like, where do I go? Where do I
Mm.
position? And you have to do all of these things and have high impact and perfect spell castage because you don't have net worth, right? You don't have like
Yes.
this net worth to be strong. You just have your brain and your basic abilities at that point, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a lot more theoretical support if you approach to the game, at least at this level. I'm not
I like.
sure.
Mm.
Yeah, not sure at the highest level, but I think at this level for sure.
I love when you say it's arbitrary, and because when there are stats, your force staff that saves a carry, it's nowhere recorded. There's nowhere you
Mm,
can see it. The glimmer that, or the this dust that gets you a kill, the smoke that leads to a kill, the you smoke, so you standing in front of your carry and blocking a smoke, like you said, and dying.
yeah.
It's nowhere near like it's super arbitrary because mid, you're like he's got good KDA. That's it. That's all we're looking for, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also what for me is a bit of a struggle. I don't use this as an excuse because I hate excuses.
Mm.
But for grinding ranked, I mean, as pos 5, it's for me it's so difficult because the
Yep.
pos 5 you play in competitive and the pos 5 you play in ranked, it's like the ranked one is like sewer water and the other one's like bottled water.
Yep.
Like the one is like this product that's polished and you like fit your team, you a cog in the wheel, it's ideal. But
Uh-huh.
then the one in ranked is like I'm playing Phoenix, and my guy doesn't know how to lane. Okay, it's whatever. I take the lane, I get fat, and then I need to build like these carry items, so I need to
Yep.
like carry the game, but I'm pos 5. It's weird. You want to block smoke, but bro wants to just go farm somewhere else, and you're like, oh, it's so weird. So it's a bit tricky for me. That's the one part I say I would not like about the role,
Yeah.
is that in ranked, at least in C, I'm not sure about Europe, but in C, it's a bit awful to play pos 5 in ranked, to be honest.
Uh, I remember watching a game, and it was there was line. He was in, popular and competitive, but he was in pubs. He was still sub 48% win rate, something like that. And I remember watching a game, and Lion blinks, and all his teammates help him. And in pubs, I swear, the next day I blinked, and my teammates ran away. And I'm like, but we
Yeah.
caught him. It's like, do you not? Do you? Did we? We got the guy. He's right there. So I completely understand that part of. Well, you egg and your allies leave you, and you're like, aren't you guys supposed to protect me? I literally just taunted them, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And back to the point that I mentioned earlier about the pos 5, like you need to be making these calls or these
Yeah,
ideas or stuff for your value to come forth, as a
exactly.
pos 5. But in ranked, maybe you got some Chinese guys in C that don't understand English,
Oh,
or you have people that are muted or they're tilted or they don't want to play. And now, okay, well, how are you going to add value? Only your gameplay, but your gameplay is limited because of, your hero's like level 6 at 10 minutes, and that's basically it. What if you're counted? It's very frustrating, but I guess it's a bit of a comes with the territory.
yeah.
You gotta get used to it.
You
But then
might.
I think that's where watching a lot of replays is just better than playing ranked, in my opinion. But then you need high rank to get a team. So yeah,
Yes.
it's a very interesting ecosystem we find ourselves in. Generally.
Yeah, and it's like I love what you're talking about because so much like resonates. When you pick like Undying, you go up with 6 mangoes, you use it all to zone the enemy out, but your carry doesn't want to join fights later when you need him. It's
Yeah.
like we're ahead. Listen, dude, it's like 20 minutes. He's like, nah, I'm going to join 35 because I got to build these items. And he's like, it's
Hmm.
not a shopping list, dude. You join when we're stronger.
Yeah, yeah. Or like you zoning the guy out of the lane, and then your guy is missing last hits. What can you do?
Yes.
What can you do? Or like I had a game the other day where we owned, and I can't remember what hero I was playing, but I was playing with Gyro, and we were owning the lane like so hard, like 2 level lead. I'm thinking to myself, in competitive, this is like a GG lane already. Like
Yeah.
he can be left alone, and on paper he can. And I tell him I'm leaving him alone because I want to go kill mid, and then I end up killing the mid. I kill Storm. Then my Gyro dies, and he says, "Why you leave me?" I'm like, what? Because if I don't leave him and then Storm gets sick, Storm gonna kill us anyway. So like,
Yes.
I actually want to win 2 lanes at once and just go pool. The small camp's open. And I tell him all of this beforehand, but he doesn't listen. So I went over the replay again, and I was like, I'm pretty sure these moves are correct on paper. I don't think I should say bottom, but yet my guy is like, dying because I'm not
Yep.
bottom. So it's very difficult. I'm at a crossroads with ranked, but I think it's also C because. No offense to C, I would say compared to Europe, when I play in Europe, when I'm at home, or when I was in Russia, the European players seem to have a much more bigger picture understanding of the
Yep.
game. Like the carry player, if he's free, he will just go mid and hit the tier 1 if there's a team fight happening. If he can't come to the team fight. And C, you don't really see that sort of stuff happening. If you leave your guy alone after you won the lane, he's not going to grief the lane in Europe. He's going to like just do his thing, But I don't know. In C, there's a bit of lacking of understanding in that area. No offense to C. I mean, he's kind of like my home region, but just that's something I noticed.
I've been playing this in this region my whole life as well, So it's like I also see it when it's like, hey, listen, they're pressuring us. Can you go farm their jungle and push the lane a little bit? It's like, no, I'm going to be farming, that down area here, and I'm not your MMR, but I'm like 7.5. Where it's like you think this is the level where people should have some understanding, but there's.
But it isn't, and that's scary, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
for me as well, you'll be playing with like a rank 100 player who will like not know like how the smoke should go, or they'll be like tilted after something small's happening. Like, bro, are you supposed to be good, right? I mean,
Yes.
don't you know that like this actually isn't a big deal? Like you dying a second time in the lane is whatever. Our other 2 lanes are winning, it's okay. And the enemy rank 500's like that, and you're like, I don't understand how this is, like the enemy Brewmaster 0-3, he gets ulti, makes a kill. I'm like, why is this not on my team? Hello. Yeah, but anyway, what can you do? It's ranked.
Do you ever think you're going to be switching back to mid or another core? Or you're like, nah, I like position 5. I'm sticking to it for a while.
I mean, I think it's something that's not really spoken of a lot but in Dota, but I think changing roles is like astronomically hard. And I think it is also not just hard, but it's very risky for your career.
Yes.
What I mean by this is like, as Dota keeps progressing, as there's more things for each role, there's more nuances, there's more things that you only know if you spam this role, spam these heroes, blah, 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 because there's more info now, there's more data, there's more things to do and stuff. You can't just, I think, like in the old days, willy-nilly change role, like, oh, I want to play pos 5, pos 1, which because we're in the same lane. There's a lot of nuance to how a pos 1 needs to see the game, play the game, call in the game, visualize team fights, and blah 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 blah. And obviously it's important at even my level to have a broad understanding of all the roles in the game. Like what your pos 4 wants to do, your pos 1 and stuff. But I don't think that translates directly to, oh, okay, I can play that now, or with 3 months of gameplay, I can play that in a comp game. I think it's very risky. So I think for me, I'll just stick to pos 4 and 5 because those are my most played roles in the last, I think 14 months or
Yeah.
so. So yeah, and it's enjoyable. It's a very fulfilling role, pos 5. I mean, not in ranked, but in comp, it's very fulfilling. Like when you get a good read and you win the small games, like you outsmart them where your wards are, and then you make good moves, and then you do cool stuff like you push out this lane, you sweep the map topside, and then you put vision down here, and then like there's a lot of stuff to do actually on pos 5. Like the game is very intricate. Like if you want to study the game, so yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I like that. So I think I'll stay with pos 5, and I like
Well,
captaining.
oh.
So
And you yourself, when I watch you play, you also usually picking kind of the big playmaking fives, like the Winter Wyvern, the Silencer, where it's like I can have big impact even if we're behind, right? We jump a guy, Global Silence comes out, they want jump on us. I throw Winter's Curse, we turn it around, and I kind of like that. I feel like you're a lot of post fives, like I'm going to take Crystal Maiden, I'm going to play, like I'm going to try and there's just nothing wrong with it, but it is sub roles in a role, if that makes sense.
yes, no, for sure. I mean, for me as well, I don't want to air any dirty laundry, but a lot of how I played for the last 6 months in this roster of Neon was because of certain things that arised in the team.
Yes.
We did some checking on ourselves and we realized, okay, we lack this, we lack that, we lack this, we lack that. For example, our pos 4 was not very active. It wasn't like I want to run around and make moves in the early game. So then if we played against good teams that did do that, and I played a backline like CM or Rubik, we couldn't play the early game. The 3v3 rune fight's hard. The transitioning on the lanes is hard. From like laning phase to breaking up the lanes. Defending catapult waves, 10 minutes is hard. So I would have to play stuff like Tuskar and these more
Clockwork.
heroes clockwork that go in that fight, or silence. I need to win the lane, get fast 6 so we can global win the rune fight,
Yep.
something like that. But now I'm at this point where I'm teamless for a bit, and I'm excited because I get to work on myself. Like I want to see what type of pos 5 I want to become. I like to play Ancient and Chen, but like I want to really mold my player character, if that makes sense. Like am I going to be a Maposhka or like an Insania? What type of pos 5 I'm going to be? So yeah, I'm excited for that. I want to like watch replays and see what I want to do.
A lot of it will come down to what you enjoy the most. So it's like I love doing this part, so I'm going to focus on heroes who do that. But one of the reasons I did reach out to you for an interview is because of the news with Neon. So if there's anything part of this that you don't want to discuss, it's fine, and we can be like, oh, I don't want to, like I don't answer this question, go next. So it's fine with me. But
sure.
but Joe, just to be safe, like anything we say will be on the record, unless you don't want it. Like, all right. So
yeah, all good.
Cool. I want to talk about Neon. Firstly, I was surprised that I read your announcement that you're looking for a team before they announced that they're disbanding. What was that about? That was weird timing.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was my bad. Okay, so there's no bad blood between Neon or any other players. Just for reference sake. Okay, and then that thing was like our contracts already ended when TI. When we lost our TI qualifier, because I think in our contract that was the clause, like when TI ends, I'll run in TI. So they already told us, like the management told us, okay, there's no like obligations for us to you and you to us now, So I was like, okay, cool. Can I put LFT in my name and blah blah? And it was like, okay, cool, no worries. And then I was like, wait, I have to do a post. But then I thought like, Neon are gonna do a post, but I kind of just want to get this out the way, I want to just post my stuff and start the next chapter already, So that was just a Neon were working on it, and then I just decided to do it. It's like I should have waited in hindsight, but I mean, I wanted to get on with it, But yeah, no bad blood or anything, no fighting.
That's good to hear. You alluded to the team sort of being a little passive in that little 3 versus 3 thing. Wow. Anything else you want to share about the team dynamics? Was it all good, or was there like cracks happening and you started to notice them?
I mean, I'm very critical of myself, firstly, and therefore, because I want to improve. Therefore, if I want my people around me to improve, I'll also be critical, but not like in like a bad way. I'll never put people down, but I will be very honest to them, and I'll also be honest with my feelings about them.
Yes.
And I have expressed this before to the individuals, but there was 2 individuals that I felt like one for sure should have worked much harder, and the other one could have worked harder as well.
Okay.
Um, and that's the thing. Like, you can't have people. You can't have four people that are, or three or four people on the team that are grinding super hard and
Yep.
really trying to make it, and then like two that are like, I'm not saying they're not working, but then they're definitely not giving 110 or 150%. Like we were always talking like, guys, we are consistently like top three in these close qualifiers.
Yes.
Imagine if we just put a little bit more work, learn some new heroes or something like that.
Mm.
Something's got to give, and then bam, we're gonna be like going to a major. Maybe we
Mm.
wouldn't even disband if we went to 2 or 3 majors in the year already.
True.
We'll have sponsors, bigger salaries.
Mm.
Everything just comes from your hard work in Dota. Like, I think the Dota ecosystem now, yes, it's a bit harsh. I mean, if you're an org and you're not making these big events, but
Mm.
if you do make these big events consistently, there's so much money now. Like,
Yes.
so much money. There's like $1 million here, 800,000 here, 500,000 here, $1 million here. Oh, Riyadh. Oh, TI. Oh, this,
Mm.
that, this, that. There's RES online. There's
Yep.
Kobolds online. There's a lot of events now.
Yep.
So I think to be good now is like a fantastic time. And I think we just, maybe we understood that. I mean, I
Mm.
think three of us definitely understood that, but it just didn't pan out for the whole group.
Mm.
Um, and we were just always one step behind, especially the last few months. Like, we
Mm.
got Coach Teehee on board, which is really awesome. He helped us so much. Very, very good coach. I'm excited to see where
Good to
he goes
hear.
next. Yeah, but for me, I don't know. I don't think we worked as hard individually. Like,
Mm.
we need everyone to really grind so much. Like, you really have to play this game so much, and then the payoff is massive. It's life
Yep.
changing. Like, if you make it as a tier one player, it's absolutely life changing for the better. So just put in a little bit of work, maybe be a bit uncomfortable for like 6 months, and you'll be so much better at this game. You can go and play at these cool tier one events, make lots of money. It's like, it's really like, it's crazy. But I don't think, in my opinion, once again, a lot of C players understand this. They're
Yes.
very chilled with just like a cool salary and like
Mm.
playing some dotes and playing some tournaments and see how it goes. But for me, that's not really how I am. I'm like, I want to be the best, and I'm willing to like sacrifice whatever I have to be the best. You know.
Well, like no one ever
So
was, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
song, right? That I want to be the best. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah,
sorry, I didn't want to cut you, but I've in the culture in C, what I call feedback can often be seen as criticism.
yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I think you could have pulled here is seen as, why didn't you pull here? You messed up. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and
It's like an
that
attack.
exactly, because then it's seen like, whoa, he's telling me I did something wrong when it should have been he is helping me improve, and that can be, especially you guys are very multicultural, but most of the players are from C.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, the original roster this season was CDR, Ken, JG, Bombi, me.
Mm,
So I mean, yeah, four of them from C. Well, I don't know where I'm from. Africa's not really a region. I mean,
no.
I'm kind of from C as well at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It's also hard because everyone's an individual and everyone has their own dreams. So it's
Yep.
hard to be like, hey, why aren't you working as hard? Like, please work as hard. Like, they don't see it like that. They might see it like, oh, I'm so happy to be here and I'm enjoying
This
my
is my
time, and
level.
yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. You
Mhm.
know, and
And
then obviously there's things like, uh maybe you can. I did speak to management about some things, but they didn't really agree. So, and that's fine. I'm not like angry. I mean, it's
Mhm.
it's it's it's, it's just how things go. And yeah, in the end, we ended up not qualifying to any major event, which is very sad
Mhm.
because we had like the PGL Wallachia came
Yes.
second. We also
Elite
came
League.
second in RES. We came third in like how many qualifiers?
Elite League. I was
So
just checking. You guys were like Elite League season two qualifiers, third place. So that
yeah,
was also. I'm put in a very awkward situation right now because as an interviewer, I want to ask you all the dirty stuff, but as I like you as a guy, and I'm like, I know that it'll be bad for your career to be like, this guy was jackass, and the management did this, and I told them that. So I'm like, as much as I'd love to tell you, like, ask more for more dirt. Um, I'll leave it as it is, but I will ask one more question, which is: do you think you guys would have been together still if you did qualify for Elite League season two? Because I think that was top two goes. You were like third place. I'm not sure if it's top one or top two, but you
top one,
guys were
top one.
third. Yeah. So
Yeah, top one, top one. I mean, so that was a bit awkward because we had the Lul standing in for us, which
Uh-huh.
was very nice. He's a very good player, and it was
Okay.
very we were very grateful for him to standing in because Bombi didn't want to play because he just
Hmm.
wanted to go back to Vietnam, and we were like, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we were thinking like it's a bit awkward because Neon obviously wants to move on. They're
Hmm.
like done with with the scene and stuff, and I respect that. But then
Yep.
what if we qualify? So we probably would have just stayed together for
Elite
boot
League.
camp a little bit longer,
Yeah.
fly to Peru, and then see what happens, and then go
Mm.
from there.
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's very sad for all of us. We were all very sad because we all really liked playing together, and I
Mm.
think we all felt like this roster had a chance.
Mhm.
Like if we just had more time, maybe we had to replace one player and then go from there. But
Man,
yeah,
there's that one player who's really bugging you, but it's like, it's fine.
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing as well. I've also learned something. I learned a lot of things on my journey with Neon, but
Mm.
I also learned like you might not like someone as a person, but you like them as a Dota player, or vice
Yes.
versa.
Yep.
And that's what I've realized now. Like,
Mm.
I really enjoy all my teammates as friends, but not all
Yes.
of them as teammates.
Fair.
If
Fair.
that makes sense. Yeah, and I'm sure they might feel the same way about me.
Mm.
It's not like I'm perfect. They're not. It's super chilled, but it's interesting. It's interesting dynamic. I never thought about that before. I
Mm.
was I was I was in this I was in this team.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I think we're all having a bit of a break now, and we're
Yep.
chilling. We're seeing our offers and stuff like that, and seeing where we want to go next. I'm quite excited for my new journey. I'm pretty sure where I'm gonna go, but I need to see how things are gonna plan out. I'm also like just waiting for the Lord to direct my path, and then
Yep.
yeah, I'm excited. I don't want to just be some random tier 2 player that just hangs around. I want to be like the Aurora of C. That's my goal. Consistently at the top of C, but also qualifying to these big events. That's like
Yep.
that's the dream. And then making like actually doing something at the big event as well, not just like oh cool free holiday. We
Yeah.
lose to like GG and Team Spirit, then we come back. And then we're chilling.
You
No,
know,
that's awful.
second last place in the group stage. That's it. Go to stay. Either your biggest decision then becomes: do we watch the whole thing or do we go home?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. It's so awkward. Damn, these guys are so good. Oh, okay, well, see them next
if
time maybe.
if only he was on my team or something like that.
Yeah, that's so bad.
But man, it's like you say a lot, and then it's like I'm not sure what point I want to pick up on. But what are your like? Let's go about a little bit further back. DPC announced that it's gone. The scene, as a caster, I felt it's changed dramatically since
Mm.
the DPC is gone. How is that? And obviously, maybe DPC would have been better for stability. But how is this affecting you right now with so many tournaments of varying sizes? We got 50K like RES to Riyadh at 5 million to maybe
Mm.
TI. Who knows? Like, how is the scene right now in your opinion? Good, bad? What are you thinking?
I mean, I would say the short-sighted answer is good because more tournament, more money, happy,
Yep.
happy. But the long term, I think it's very bad because
Mm.
if you ask yourself the question fundamentally, how do we carry on funneling Dota talent and funneling, teams and that's
Yes.
sustainability? Where does that come from now? Because as an org, previously you had support via the DPC. Because if you
Mm.
qualify to DPC, you're gonna have like all of
Yep.
the prize winnings, and there was like constant income. Maybe it wasn't enough to be profitable. Don't get me wrong, but at least it's something.
Yep.
Now
Money
it's
in.
like let's say you're an org like Neon, or any other org for that matter, that isn't at the top of their region, like top one,
Yes.
top two, consistently. You are going to be funding, let's say, some salaries,
Mm.
boot camp, and then all other small expenses or whatever. And every month, that's just what you're throwing out.
It
And
adds
what are
up.
you getting back? Because sponsors nowadays, from what I've heard from people and a lot of agents speaking about sponsors, is that they're keen to sponsor, but only the
Mhm.
teams that go to the big events.
Of
So it's
course.
like, well, they don't really need the sponsor. I mean, obviously they want it, and it's
Mm.
ideal for them, but they don't need it.
Mhm.
They're just gonna be like, it's like more cream on the cake.
Of
That
course.
we still building the cake here. And like there is no materials to build the cake. So that's my only problem. Is
Mm.
like sustainably going forward, how are orgs going to survive? Are they just
Yep.
going to keep throwing venture capital and keep burning money and hope my team goes to major, or is something going to change? I mean, for me as a player, it's very scary for no DPC. I
Mm.
think everyone feels that way except for like the top 20 teams in the world. If
Yes.
you're a Liquid, if you're a Team Spirit, I would be having a different interview. I'd be saying, hell
Of course.
yeah, more money for me. It's awesome. We're getting direct invite for these
Mm.
things. It's easy peasy. It's lacquer. I don't have to I don't have to play these long, lengthy qualifiers, as people call them. They're called DPC
Very
alarm
nice.
qualifier.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but DPC. I mean, it's so good for the evolving talent. You know, like the casters or the players. There's something to follow. There's some like there's a
Story.
light. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Now it's like you have to forge your own light, and that's very difficult. You know, look at us at Neon. I mean, Neon survived for so long, and now it's like Neon's questioning, well, the ecosystem's not that great, and I totally agree. You know, I can't sit here and be like, why are you guys wanting to disband and blah 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 blah. You know,
Yep.
it makes total sense. I would struggle to try and pitch this idea to an org as well. You know, I'm not trying to scare off orgs. It's just I think you can still do it. It's just you need to be sure that your team can somehow make it. You know,
Yep.
to these big events, or get to a point where they improve so much that they can then get sponsors and big events and stuff like that. Because otherwise, it's just there's nothing, you know. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future if we're just going to continue doing this wild west, throw tournaments. Whoever qualifies, sick. If you don't, well, hope you don't disband. Or it's going to be Stack City, which I think also might be the new play. But that's going to be awkward if we just have like maybe Aurora, some Blacklist, some Talon as orgs, maybe Excretion or something, and those are like the only 4 real orgs in the scene, and then everyone just stacks. You know, I was thinking that might happen in like 6 to 12 months, because if people don't feel the
Stability.
value, the value money wise to throw, or I mean, it's very complicated. I mean, these things, there's a lot of factors, but I think it also has to do with the orgs can't keep up with the like rising amount. Everyone's asking big salaries, you know. Like every player now wants these bigger and bigger and bigger salaries, you know. But it's like, how can we sustain this, you know? I mean, I hear what people are asking, because obviously now I'm in the whole asking offering game.
Of course.
Some free agent. But it's crazy to me. I laugh sometimes. I'm like, we spoke to this guy, but this is what he asked. And I'm like, what? Like, there's no way. It's like there's people in C asking for like 7, 8, 10K USD a month, and they're not even like a tier 1 player. I'm like, bruh, like how? You know, like I don't want to be mean, but there's people like unrealistic, like so like detached from reality. Like you need to see the scene, see what the scene is, and see who you are in the scene, and then like, you know, ask away. You know, not just like, I was on a team once, we played at a major in 2020, and now I want to ask this money. It's like crazy. So I just wish Dota players were a bit more like sane, you know. But I guess, I mean, we play Dota, so we're not sane. But it's crazy to me. But I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm praying that things will go well, because I really love Dota. It's a really awesome game. It's the best game ever. And maybe we find a way to work things out, you know, in this ecosystem, because it is a bit crazy right now, I would say. Except for like the like I said before, the top 20 teams, they're loving it for sure. But the rest, I think we need to find a way to stabilize it somehow.
You know, I like what you're saying, because I also saw the DPC was like Division 2 up and comer. You know, you're grinding. You get to Division 1. You're like, okay. Firstly, you made money in Division 2. Like, kudos. You know, you're making 20,000 every couple of months. Maybe it's not the big salary, but people are like, you are bringing in money to your org, and you're going to Division 1, and then you can like fluctuate. And then it's like, when that was gone, I also felt like, hey, if you're top 3 in a region, you're eating good. You're very happy. If you are starting out, though, because every tournament now has a open qualifier, a closed qualifier, and then there's invite. And usually it's like the top 3 teams, this guy is invited. These 2 are in the closed qualifiers waiting to kick your ass. So it's super difficult. And I also felt the same way. When it's like, if your team Falcons, you're straight away invited to everything. You don't even care. And even these small tournaments that we're doing, the 50K, 100K, we have invited teams and we have qualifier teams, right? Invited teams often don't play the group stage. They straight away, we put them straight in the playoffs. We're like, they need to be incentivized to even play it. Because they'll be like, I don't want to do the group stage. You know, Team Spirit comes, I don't want to do the group stage. I know it's 100K, I don't want to do the group stage. They're like, okay. You know, we're going to have the other team, Monty and Kalmikata, in the group stage, and you guys just get what you want. And
good luck.
And then they win, and they take 50K for like a week, 4 or 5 days of play, which is excellent for them. And then Kamichado has been playing for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they don't get anything out of it. It is very crazy how the scene is.
And it's weird because I'm not trying to point. No one is the bad guy. That's the thing that I'm trying to
Yes,
say. Like,
very true.
it's just how things have. It's a bit of like the Korean movie Parasite.
Haven't seen
Who
it.
is the
Don't ruin
villain?
it.
Oh,
Don't
sorry,
ruin
sorry.
it.
I'm no ruining, but
I've heard
basically
it's
it's like
good.
who is the villain? We don't know because it's not like Team Spirit and these top teams are the villain. Obviously
Of
not.
course not. Yeah.
But they are the benefactors, of this
Yes.
whole system. But then the the bottom teams, it's like it's difficult because
Mm.
you can also have the attitude like, oh, mega lol, it's just the bottom teams, they're
Yeah.
useless, who are they, haha.
They're
But if
people.
you think about it, they are the next generation,
Mm.
not these bottom teams in particular, but I'm saying the bottom teams that are going to be coming up.
Yep.
We need people to like come through the filter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like how we're gonna breed new talent. What's
Mm.
gonna incentivize a little kid who's 14 now or 15 now playing Dota to say, "Oh, I want to keep playing because of that." He's
Mm.
gonna look at the big scene and be like, "Ooh, that's kind of scary." But back in the day, it would be like, "Oh, I just need to go to TPC Division 2. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I can do it. I can do it." And then I start making money. Hey, mom, this is my path. How you make money, son? Oh, I'm gonna do it like
This
this.
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then that kind of makes sense. Because I remember when I had this talk with my mom after when I was finishing high school, I
Mm.
was like, "Yo, mom, good news! I'm gonna play Dota." She was like, "Oh
Oh
no,
yeah.
please no." But no, no. I mean, she supported me, and she still does. But I mean, I was telling her like, I just need to go to TI.
Yeah.
But that's like a very big just. I just need to go to TI. But it would have been easier if I could have been like, oh yeah, there's 16 teams, 8 are in Division 1, 8 Division
Mm.
2. So I think the DPC was great, but I
Mm.
think Valve just crumbled to the pressure of the high end players and high end orgs when they were like,
Mm.
ah, we don't want to play this long qualifier. And I understand, like
That makes
once
sense
again,
too.
they're not villains either. I think the DPC just needed to be reworked or
Mm.
changed, not thrown away entirely.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just did like, okay, we done, okay, DBC is over. It was so weird for me as well, because
Mm.
just change it slightly. If the length of the qualifiers was a problem, no worries, why don't we just shorten the DPC,
Yes.
duration or something? There was so many better ideas. I don't know, it was so weird. Now to just toss everyone out and just, yeah, it was odd, because now I just don't know what the tier 2 scene is going to be.
Mm.
It's not just going to be stacks, most likely. But then how are you gonna like evolve as a player while you are a stack earning no money because there's no more
Exactly.
orgs? So let's say you're like a student and you're wondering, do I pause my studies and play Dota full time? But then how am I gonna make money? Oh, if I stream. But if you're not a good streamer or your stream doesn't make it, then what?
Mm.
There's no more if there's no more orgs in the tier 2 level. How do people get to that tier 1 level? Because I highly doubt you're going to beat the likes of Aurora or some Blacklist or some Talent or something if you're a student and you play like 3 hours of Dota a day.
Yep.
I mean, there's no ways, right? So you can't like Dota's a difficult game. You can't just play it as like a side
Part time.
hobby. It needs to be a full-time grind. Back to my earlier point in the gaming house, like everyone needs to really full send this damn thing. It's a lot of stuff to do in every game. So yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky.
No, man, it's stuff I feel. It's very different, right? Because not only are you in that tier 2 level, but I'm also the tier 2 cast, and you know exactly what you mean. Where it's like the DPC was, oh, you're kind of new, but you're good. Here's Division 2. You're doing better. We'll put you in Division 1 next term.
Mm,
So there's also
yeah.
like very stable for the scene in general. And Valve removing it just because it was long was also like, did you have to do that? You
Yeah.
didn't just. But they did try to adjust it a bunch of times. It didn't work. And I can imagine teams were like, I don't want to play one game a week, and then I have to wait another week, and I have to wait another week. I can't join tournaments. I have to schedule. There's a lot to understand. It's no villains, as you said.
Yeah, if I was them, I would have just done some system like firstly, just take
Mm.
the whole long, lengthy process of DPC and squash it. I mean,
Yep.
we have so many online events that are like fast. They're not
Yeah.
slow.
A
You
week,
play
10
like,
days.
yeah, maybe like a week to play your quote unquote round robin games or whatever the
Mm.
case may be, and then you can just assign it so that DPC gives some sort of points
Mm.
for like the EPT points thingy. They could have just done that. The same
Yeah.
sort of idea. Like DPC grants a certain number
Points.
of points, and then there we go. And then the rest of the calendar year, when the DPC is done, or in between DPC leagues, we can have the rest of these tournaments,
Third
these
party.
lands, these
Yeah.
yeah, third party can go ham. I mean, I don't know why they can't do something like that. That'll be so much better. So at least if you are like looking to have some stability, there is some stability. And then what would incentivize people to play the DPC of other leagues is maybe more points. You can put more points on that or something because it's a Valve league or something. I don't know. There's just ideas
There's room to
that
grow.
yeah. There's wiggle room. Not just I'm done. Deep throw away the DPC, and it's but I get that people just keep complaining to Valve. They never like. I also understand that from Valve's point of view. Like I would also be tired. Like we release Battle Pass, people are angry. We don't release Battle Pass, people are angry. It's like okay, and then we put DPC, people are angry. We remove DPC, people are angry. It's like it's never the punks are never satisfied. It's the male said. So it's like it's difficult for them as well. So we need to find something that somehow works, and I'm praying that happens because that'll really help the scene. Because right now it's just gonna be Stack City, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I've taken a lot of your time, so I'm going to ask you just one last question because you have things to do. I understand that. I want to make sure especially right now, it's a very pivotal time for you. You just left the team. Offers maybe coming in, maybe not. Maybe not. You might want to approach people. So it's like it's a very hot time for you. So I'm going to ask: do you have any offers? What do you have any? What are your plans exactly for the future? Regions, for example, things like that.
Yeah. So I have. Quite a few offers, not trying to
Nicely done.
brag, but
Congrats,
yeah, I have
congrats.
some offers which I'm very happy about. Two that are looking very promising, two are potential, and then I have some others that are like I need to like see how it
Research.
goes in
Yeah.
other regions and stuff. Yeah, but for now, most likely probably gonna stay and see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave. And I have like my girlfriend here who we're looking to get married and stuff like that in the Philippines. So
Congratulations.
thank you. So yeah, so a lot of stuff that's busy happening in my life. So just wanting to go home. I think I'll probably go home early July to South Africa. Need to get a new passport. Need to see my family and stuff, and then onto my next journey.
Yep.
And onto the grind. So yeah, but I'm still open for offers and stuff like that at the moment.
Awesome. And hey, if you get an offer, maybe I'll like for instance announce and you join a team. We might have another call because this was a lot of fun for me. I hope you enjoyed your time as well. And
Yes, for sure.
it was super informative. Like it's really eye opening also to talk to the pros. So thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, I hope to see you in Malaysia again sometime.
I hope to see you in when we go to a big land. I was hoping to see you in Serbia. I'm going to Serbia for the RES one, Belgrade, and I was like, I swear, every time you guys were playing in SA, I would blow you up so much, and then you guys would sometimes lose, and I'm like, it's okay. Next
one.
Next one. I swear, if you, I like no joke. Go to the last like RESC. I'd always be like, I'm a fan of Neon. I don't know if I'm a fan of their gameplay or that stuff. Like I'm always biased them emotionally because I love Castaway being in the team, and I think he represents the region. And then you guys had to disband. Like, thanks a lot. I don't know how we're gonna have to work the rule book around this.
Yeah, I know it's really sad. I'm not sure as well with regards to that the RES points thing. Yeah, I spoke to my manager, and I'm not sure if like 3 of us or more stick together and go to another org. Can we take those points? I don't know how it's gonna work, but we'll chat to them.
Yeah,
but
cool.
I was also hoping to go to Serbia. Trust me, I was also like, I want to go travel. I want to play at international events. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, best of luck. And again, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. And yeah, just thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, God bless. Cheers.